Hey Kingdom, today I want to show you insanely cool build in Wuchang Fallen Feathers. This build aims to maximum damage possible in this game. I tested every piece of equipment, every stone, every node and every weapon. And this axe is just broken if you want to unleash insane amounts of damage. The name is Scorn Great Axe. This axe is not available from the start of the game. Yeah, you can only find it later in the game. After a beat bunch of territories, I will leave information on how to find this axe in a pinned comment. However, you will need to beat a bunch of bosses before you can actually get it. This means you need kinda a way to get this axe. And you may get to it pretty easily just by using Empyrean Great Axe build that I posted on the channel before. But main idea is to get Empyrean Great Axe. You can get it in Act 1, basically very early in the game. Then get to the left side of passive skill tree and to Fury of Skyborn node. Here on the bottom right there will be Bone Needle Leech. This in combination with Axe passive, Axe and Hook, that will give you Clash, basically gives you ability to face tank bosses with your charge attack and do nothing but just going ham on them. This works, but what if you want just crazy amounts of damage? That's the build for you. So, this character right now is New Game+++. It doesn't matter, damage, maximum damage can be achieved basically when you get this axe. Almost maximum damage. It will be just a little bit lower. Now, first part to insane amount of damage, and I just found how broken it is by testing different combinations of different benedictions on all the weapons. And while benedictions can give you some nice little bonuses and stuff, like easiest, straightforward and most stable one is actually using three disciplinary forces. Yeah, in slot 1, slot 2 and slot 3 there will be Way, disciplinary force, basically 3, 6, 9. This unlocks full set, which will give you bonus for 12 discipline skills known. And this basically doubles your damage if you know 12 discipline skills. What is discipline skills? Is basically skills of your weapons. And you start with 5 skills already on your passive tree. So for example, if you go into Axe part, you can get Whirlwind, then you can get Colossal Smash, Rampage, Earth Shatter, and then you will have 9 already. Then just level other parts. It's very useful to level, for example, bunch of spear parts in the middle of the game and just to get this +5 strength, +5 agility nodes. Agility is not needed for Axe. For Axe you want as much strength and as much vitality as possible. That's it. That's why it's a really easy to use weapon. So sword part is really useful, but basically just get 3 more skills and this will work. Now just take a look at the difference. Basically most axe attacks will do blunt damage, and Empyrean Great Axe is actually best blunt damage axe possible. So with my stats, maxed out character right now, it will do more stab damage than my Scorn Great Axe. But let's ask Commander Honglan how much damage we can deal. So this will be basic attack, 280 damage with Empyrean Great Axe and 391 damage with our broken hammer. And yeah, you may think this hammer is not broken, because you may be already doing more damage. And yeah, it's possible, but this build optimizes our tempering. Tempering is basically this part over here, temper. You can allocate needles over here. And for today's build, you don't need to get any needle somewhere from passive skill tree. You basically will get this needle right from the get-go. It's Flame Needle. This gives us extra fire attack and extra burn effect. Extra slots over here will be unlocked later when you advance through the levels, and over here I taking agility, strength, continuity and temper. Temper gives us more damage when we're using temper. Basically, continuity gives us longer longevity of this effect, and if you never saw it, basically it will be in your inventory, so you need to equip this temperance and it will be recharged every time you restart area, every time you die and restart basically yourself. And you just press the button, you touch your blade and voila, we got Fire Axe. And that's the secret. Basically, Scorn Great Axe actually will make fire buff from Temperance much more potent. And that's the secret. Yeah, that's the super secret. And why my axe plus 10 axe actually doing just 391 damage. The secret is this Demon Pendant. And cool part, basically, most of this can be achieved a lot before when you find the Scorn Great Axe. So you can get this build pretty like right away when you unlock and find this axe. So idea that we want to use Jade Pendant, which will buff our blunt attack power. You can buy it from trader when you advance through the game and give them a relics. Demon Pendant can be found in Zhenwu Antechamber in a large tent in a rebel camp. Again, you can find it before you find Great Axe. And it will increase fire damage at the cost of reducing physical damage. That's completely fine, because to unleash insane amount of power, we will try to use our special ability, Combustion Cleaver. Every weapon will have basic ability, weapon skill, and also discipline skill. That can be assigned to any weapon. That's why last pendant is Coiled Dragon Pendant. It will increase power of weapon skills. We will use weapon skill for this build. To get it, however, when you will be in Bright Boudoir, you need to find NPC and save this NPC from prison. Just make sure to look around. It's pretty sneaky to find it. And the spell, Divine Might. It will increase damage of our next attack. So it's full combination that will give us insane amount of damage. And you may find it in Dom Willow Beach, on the top behind the fire pit, where was a lady in a red dress. Now about leveling and basically how you play Axe. Again, when you're playing Axe, you're going for mostly vitality to be able to sustain damage and also for strength to scale damage. However, this Axe is really special in one regard. It actually scales with agility too. A little bit, but it scales. Now that you understand why I'm doing so low damage in the first attack, let me show you power of our fire attack. And it's already 600 damage and full combination doing around 2.5k. Again, this combination is not the main idea. Main combination is actually this skill, and it doing just 2k damage alone. Now, to be able to do it, basically, you start by following this road and going left and then going forward over here. This will give you ability to clash your weapons with charge attack with your heavy axe, and then you continue forward for more health and for big strength node. Strength is super important, again, for our damage output. In the beginning, I would ignore stamina completely. We don't need a lot of stamina, just focus on strength and vitality as much as possible. Ignore all other nodes over here, just take a little bit of skills. Again, you will need skills while you're advancing through the game. And again, before you will find Last Benediction, you don't need to learn any more skills than you need. For example, for this build, I like to use Earth Shatter. It gives you resilience, so it renders your attack more difficult to interrupt. But again, most obvious, I'm not using Earth Shatter a lot. I'm using my main ability of my axe and just crushing enemies. So technically, when you're playing this build, you don't need any other extra skills. That's how simple it is. Get only best stats possible, but make sure you're close enough to skills. And you should be close enough to skills in this axe tree first. So at around level 40-50 when you're in mid-game, going to the end game, you need to be with strength and stuff like that. Then, the best option for you is to actually continue leveling through the sword lane. Just get 1 point over here, it won't give you anything, but then you can get 2 juicy strength nodes, followed by useless node, and then you're going to the left with vitality and followed by skill. Again, we're just going here for discipline skill, and on the right side of the sword tree there will be crescent moon, and then we're going to the bottom, taking some agility, strength on the way, and then getting crescent arc. This will be our 12th discipline skill. You may check how much discipline skills you know already by going into your inventory and then scrolling to discipline. Yeah, this will be the skills you know. So you should have 3 full rows, it will be 12 skills total. It's super important when you're using your axe to make sure that you're hitting enemy with your force attack, because force attack will give you instantly 3 magic points. In this game, you're using magic by utilizing feathers, basically mana points, I call them like that. So when you're going into the boss fight, you want to even try and miss enemies a little bit to hit them with force attack. And force attack will be deadly and give you a little bit of mana points, so you can go into boss fight. Before boss fight, definitely try to buff your weapon with tempering, and you should have bunch of tempering points. Then go in, pop this power button and unleash super power. This power is just insane. If you need some tips versus Hongan, try to avoid forward, not away or to the side. This will give you more magic points a lot faster, and you can basically finish her with some air shatters and other skills. And this one is for just pure damage output, if you want to go ham on boss and you can evade attacks. But what if you're not so perfect in your weights? How you can actually adapt and play with this build? It's super simple. First of all, instead of completely relying on weapon skills and even fire damage at the cost of physical damage, just forget about these two medallions. Keep blunted power, definitely, but also just get Tiger Pendant. It will give you more power with physical attacks, and it's just nice overall damage buff. Last pendant, I just recommend you almost always keeping Dracolich Pendant. It slightly reduces damage taken, but actually it reduces it pretty nicely. So whenever you're fighting bosses, try to understand how they attack. For example, if you're fighting someone like Hongan, you just need protection from basic attacks, and just equip this set that you probably already got from previous location. It will give you maximum / blunt step defense, add Dracolich Pendant on top, and you won't take almost any damage, especially if you change your spell. And spell I really recommend you to use is Divine Word. So Divine Word in combination with Dracolich Pendant and best armor set for basic damage type will give us some nice defense. And by the way, if you don't know, basically when you're going into new game plus, as you can see, I just hit it for 3k full combination. Every time you go into new game, you just getting a slightly more health on enemies and they do slightly more damage. That's it. So take a look. I can basically tank full hits from her and hit her for like 700 damage with basic strikes. I definitely will just do charge attack and we will clash with our swords. I will take even less damage, and you can guess I just can spam my buttons and defeat her. I just keeping this boss for next video. And definitely guys, if you're enjoying builds, make sure to leave a comment and like, and see you in the next ones, because there's a bunch of cool videos on the screen right now already and coming more. See you!